Now I'd like to show you the parts that we removed from the unit when we converted it to propane. We'd like to show you the parts here now. We removed quite a few parts, and a lot of good parts at that. We'll go over right over here. Here is the temperature control that we removed, and that's a fairly expensive part. Like I say, the parts that's used on these new heat exchangers are the best there is. I don't see anybody using anything that's cheap on any of these machines. It costs a lot of money to build this unit, and a lot of labor too. We eliminate that. Here's a solenoid valve, part of the chemical injection system, I would think. This is some more valves that we eliminated. These are some electrical switches, safeties that was on the pressure pump. We eliminated the chemical injection head. This was on the pressure pump. A lot of times these have diaphragms, you have to replace them. But we just do away with it completely and use a siphon type system. We changed the flow meter from a 10 gallon an hour to a 5, and that extends the life of the time that you have to refill your chemical bucket. This was on the pump here. To tell you the truth, I really don't know what that is. I've never seen that before. It looks like it costs a lot of money though. Here is the exhaust diverter. Now, you talk about something nice. This is extremely nice. It looks like it's all stainless steel, and see, it's a 1-inch pipe that the engine was running through, and it's got a built-on motor. This is a really nice piece right here, and everything was functional on the unit. There's some more electrical switches, some brass. Here's the exhaust heat exchanger. This right here is the engine coolant radiator that we took off. And the wiring harness here was the original. Like I say, it was routed up by the exhaust manifold, and it was just kind of melted together. It wasn't anything really wrong with it. It's just that it was kind of stiff and kind of melted together, so we felt like I needed a longer wiring harness to reroute it out of the inside where the heat was to start with, to get it away from the exhaust manifold. So I had to order a new one anyway. So if y'all have one of these type units, you might want to check and reroute the wiring harness and that hose I was telling you about. Go ahead and take a look at that, you know, if you're running one of these now. Like I say, here's a lot of wires that we eliminated. And we just simplified the whole system, real simple, and converted it to real common local parts, and tried to get it as common non-proprietary parts as possible. You know, I made the heater video maintenance, and it talked about you could actually get parts from Lowe's for the heater. But we try our best to make it as common as possible, everything we have anything to do with. Another thing about all these parts that are removed, to help justify the cost of having your unit converted, is that all these parts here are worth a lot of money. I would have to say you could resell these parts for $2,000 to $2,500 to someone that has one of these type units that's needing some spare parts. So you get to recoup about $2,000 to $2,500 on your initial investment if you decide to convert to this type Project Blue Book system. Thank you. Truck mounts used to cost between $5,000 and $10,000, but now the investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 for a truck mount. Now these truck mounts have good engines, pumps and blowers, good recovery tanks, hoses and wands. All that's great on these machines. The problem that we see is to gain the free heat with heat exchange is you're having to build a more complicated piece of equipment. And also, these are a lot of special parts. Now, what we're offering you with Project Blue Book is an alternative to keep your investment running for a longer period of time. We extend the life of the unit, we simplify the unit, we use common local parts so you can find them locally and you can work on the machine and keep it running yourself. And that's how we extend the life and reliability of the unit. Also, we give you more heat performance. In a lot of cases, a lot of people, once they go to high flow, for instance, this guy had this machine here. He had a high flow one, and he was having to run a little giant heater on the outlet side of the machine to boost it back up. We just eliminate all the complicated proprietary parts and we make it more common, and we extend the life of the system. So at least now you have an alternative if your unit is becoming obsolete in parts you cannot find at all, in some cases, but you still got a good engine, pump, and blower, and a lot of your other parts are good. You now got an alternative to eliminate a lot of the complicated parts, increase the reliability of the system, and plus increase the performance of your heat, maintaining heat under commercial carpet cleaning conditions. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for taking a look at this concept that we call Project Blue Book, and it's just an alternative way of keeping your investment and increase the reliability of your investment. And thank you a lot. I'm Les with Judson Vacuum Systems, and we'll see you later.